Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. This is Louise Hicks, the mad black woman, motivated and determined to support my black community family, because that's what we as black people should be all about, actually, supporting one another. I decided to go for a little walk over here in my neighborhood and take you guys with me, because it's a very nice Saturday afternoon, actually. Well, evening, because it should be dark in a little bit. So I decided to take a little walk. The mad black woman, Louise Hicks, which means motivated and determined. So I'm out here just walking, catching a bit of the breeze, because it's a beautiful day. And as I look back here, I just love just walking around the neighborhood, seeing what's going on. And today is a beautiful day. So how is everybody? What's going on in your neighborhood today? And I thought I'd jump on here and talk a little bit about mental health, actually, because this is going to be what we will be talking about tomorrow. Mental health, Black America, and psychiatry. I guess it just happened as a coincidence, really, that I had planned to talk about mental health before the Hollywood drama. And it just happened to coincide with what my plans were for my show that's airing this Sunday. As those who are aware, on my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose, I have a lot of videos, things going on that started actually back in 2014 when I started the Aim to Purpose radio show. And now this is a spinoff, Aim to Purpose Empowerment, actually Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. That's the name of my show now. And I have guests in sometimes. Sometimes it's just me just chatting about different things that I feel that I want to discuss within my community, the black family community, that is. Because I know we have a lot of things that we need to discuss because of the divide. And we are actually the most divided ethnic group in America. And it's not by coincidence, of course, and I talk about it because I'm very transparent and open about it. It's all by design. And if anyone has ever read the Willie Lynch letter, you will know why. And if you haven't read it, perhaps you should read the Willie Lynch letter, because it gives you insight as to why the black community is divided and has all the symptomatic problems that we have, which is a lot of it has to do with self-hate, a lack of love for self, and it's changing, which I'm happy to say. Therefore, I thought I would do this segment of my show on mental health, the black community, and psychiatry. It's well needed. And I'm just as I walk, I'm passing by the lake, so I thought I'd just stop in and see what's going on. It looks like some people are out here boating. I see some trucks down here, some of my neighbors, I suppose, that's at the dock boating. I come down here sometimes and fish, and sometimes I just walk down just to look out at the lake, which I can get a closer look here. I look across the street at it sometimes, but if I walk down to the dock, excuse me, little spider web got on me. If I walk down to the dock, hello, I have a better look at it. And this is where I come sometimes when I just want to come down and fish. And that's something I love to do. It's very relaxing. But anyhow, I hope you all can tune in. If you look on my Aim to Purpose radio show YouTube channel, you'll see. And also it's on my Louise Hicks and my Lou Hicks page and profile, how you can tune into our Zoom show every Sunday, which airs at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Central and 2 p.m. Eastern time. So, oh gosh, it's beautiful out here. I'll just give you guys a view of what I'm looking at here. Let's see. As you can see, that's the beautiful sunset. How beautiful. I love it. And this is where I fish right there sometimes off the dock. I just come out and something I love and just relaxing. And also it's therapeutic, good for your health to come out and get rid of some of the stress, the anxiety and all of that. It's just something that we all should do. Find us some type of stress reliever to satisfy the soul and help us to recognize that all of us have issues at times that we need to just put in the proper perspective, because everybody has been talking about all of this Hollywood drama. I don't dwell on that kind of stuff because it is not worth my energy, and it's not something I want to focus on actually. So I don't have time for that. So I'm just doing things to manifest something within my Black brothers and sisters so that we can have success and legacies for our children. And we don't have to depend on anybody to give us some government crumbs so that they can think that they are appeasing. And some, I guess they do, but that doesn't appease me because that's not my purpose, to sit around and wait on government crumbs. I want more, and I got more because I've done more. It's about putting in the work and the time and making sure that our families are taken care of. And you don't have to have those kinds of issues that popped up last Sunday in that the Oscars. I didn't watch it because I don't watch it. I haven't watched the Oscars and I don't remember when. It's not my purpose to spend my time watching something like that, especially years ago when it had nothing to do with me actually, or with the Black community, even though there are a lot of brilliant Black actors and actresses. Hollywood really didn't focus on that. They only focused on themselves. So I just started tuning it out. I didn't have time for it. And I know too many of us are now spending too much of our time still talking about it. When are we going to stop, actually? Because I know who of us can judge somebody else about what happened. And I don't advocate violence and slapping somebody, because I'll tell you the truth about me as that mad Black woman, motivated and determined. I have felt like slapping the shit out of some people a few times. And I'm serious. I'm just being transparent. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm not a bandwagon person. I don't jump on any bandwagon. But I have definitely felt like, and I can give you an example of 3 people that I really felt like it. But because of self-control, I didn't do anything like that. And 1 time, 2 times actually, it was in employment. I really felt like slapping the shit out of 2 white men. One was my boss and one was my colleague. And the reason I wanted to do that is because of the racism. And I don't mind talking about it, because I had seen the promotions being given to white people that weren't even qualified at all to be in the position they were in the first place. But we know why they got there. And I went and asked for a raise. And this white man looked at me point blank and said, "You make enough money How do you think that made me feel? It made me feel like I wanted to slap the shit out of him, but I wasn't going to do that because it would have served no purpose for me. And we have too many of our men and now more women that's going to prison for things because they didn't exercise self-control. And ultimately, I did get a promotion. However, I had to file grievances to get it. And I had a degree in bachelor's at that in social work. Had served in many leadership positions. Still, I know what it was. It was because I spoke up and spoke out about what was going on the job. And I'm not afraid. Never been afraid of getting fired. And that's what's wrong with some of us. We walk around afraid, oh, I can't say anything. I might get fired. Well, if you did your work, you read, and you do your due diligence, document, you wouldn't have to worry about getting fired. That's always been my least worry, is getting fired. Because I've always been able to articulate myself as well as document. And the other gentleman that I felt that way about was a gentleman that was going to get a position, a department head position that I passed a test for, number 1 on the list. And this man didn't even pass the test and wasn't even on the list. And he was getting ready to be promoted to the position. And someone put a little bug in my ear, fortunately, because they saw the injustice and they knew my character and they knew my work ethics, highly intelligent work ethics. Therefore, once they shared this information with me, I went and questioned it. I got an interview, got the job. This man came to me after I got the job. Well, first, the rumor said that he had made a statement he'd never work under me. I'm sure that he couldn't see himself as a white man working under a young black woman, because I must have been I'm 71 now. So we're talking years ago. I was in my late 20s. However, I was more than qualified for the position. And I passed the test. He didn't. And he came up in my face one day at work and told me, lady, I should have gotten that job. I went out this weekend and shot up a bunch of ducks. He probably wanted to shoot me. And guess what? I really felt like slapping the shit out of him. Because the audacity of him to come in my face and tell me something like that when he did not pass the test. But that was that racism and white privilege. He felt it didn't matter that I passed the test, and he didn't. The mere fact that he was white. And plus his work and his ethics, work ethics and the work itself, was not conducive to the job assignment. So therefore, all I said to him at that time, I was very young, I just said, well, I passed the test and you didn't. He looked at me and turned some different shades and walked away. But believe me, when you see this type of thing, that's why I don't condone what Will Smith did, nor do I condone what Chris Rock said. I didn't think it was funny, really. And because I get tired of us as black women being used and black men being the target of, by design, to weaken. Like I said, if you read the Willie Lynch letter, you'll know what I'm talking about. So at any rate, I moved forward into the position. He was assigned to work under the white person that I had taken the place of. The first time they had a black in that position, actually, was me. And it was okay. I earned it. I deserved it. Did an exceptional job in it. And was promoted again later. And later, the same thing happened again. And believe me, that time, I felt like slapping the shit out of that boss too. He was a Mexican and promoted a white guy over me. Had less experience and didn't have a degree. I did. Had the experience. And the sad part about it that really made me angry, even though I'm mad, motivated, and determined, this made me angry. Expected me to train him. So, guess what I did? I said, oh no, this is ridiculous. I want my promotion. I was promised it. I've worked out of class in this position for over a year, and it was promised to me. Because I made some noise, filed a grievance, I got the position. We shouldn't have to go through that when you're qualified. That's why I advocate for us to put our energy into creating jobs for ourselves and creating success for ourselves and legacy so that our children will have generational wealth. And that's what I've invested in. If I leave this world today or tomorrow, my children will be okay. They won't be on the street begging. They would not be out here trying to find somebody to help them to bury me and all of that ridiculousness. So we have to know how we're spending our money and where we're putting our money. And that has to be strategically planned. And that's why I say, why are we as Black people investing all of this energy into Will, Jada, and Chris Rock? Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Chris Rock. We of all people, we don't need to be investing all our energy into that. What good is it going to do us? Will Smith is probably worth at least maybe $350 million. Chris Rock, maybe $100 million or more. Jada, probably 50 or 60 million. And we out here, some of us, we're not even worth $200. But we're out here talking about this stuff over and over and over. So we have to learn where to put our energy and our focus, because you know what? That stuff is a distraction. It's a distraction to throw you off. And we don't need to be thrown off. We've been off for almost 500 years now. So it's time for us to get on code. We need to watch our conduct and conduct ourselves in a way to benefit us. And I'll tell you what I thought about when I heard all this drama and all these Black people out here talking about it. I thought about Fannie Lou Hamer. A lot of you probably don't even know who Fannie Lou Hamer is. I saw the documentary about her. And when she was thrown in jail, because the woman just wanted to vote. That's all. She should have had that right, because she's a human being. And that's what gets me. We're all human beings on this planet. However, as Black people, we know we haven't been treated like human beings. Even in the Constitution, we're deemed as 3/5 of a person. So people talk about those founding fathers, those founding fathers did not have that Constitution for equal rights, because if they did, we wouldn't have been deemed as 3/5 of a person. So anyhow, Fannie Lou Hamer was a civil rights activist, and the lady just wanted to vote. And because she wanted to vote, they threw her in jail. And there were two black men, inmates, according to the documentary that was aired during the month of February, Black History Month. Those black men were told by the white jail people to go and beat the shit out of Fannie Lou Hamer. And if they didn't, they were told, you know what will happen to you? They were going to beat the shit out of them. So those two black men beat this poor black woman. Literally, what happened to Chris Rock was minor, considering what happened to Fannie Lou Hamer. And we're talking 1950s, 60s. I think it was in the 1960s, because I remember Fannie Lou before she died, because I'm 71. So I've always been an inquisitive person, actually. Like I said, I came here March Madness, birthday March 4th. I came here as a warrior for justice. And this lady was beaten so badly until she ended up passing away of multiple medical issues at the age of 59 in 1977. Now, what happened to Chris Rock is minimum compared to how some of our people have been treated and beaten. Now, these were black men, and the white man told them, if you don't beat her, beat the shit out of her, we're going to kill you or beat the shit out of you. So those black men honored it and beat her. And you can go and look this up if you want to, because it aired, and it was true, because I remember some of it as a young girl back then in the 60s when she was fighting for civil rights, and on into the 70s. Because I graduated from high school in 1969. So I remember some of this stuff. Remember the Martin Luther King. I remember the colored and white fountain. And my mother was a proud black woman too. She was mad, meaning motivated and determined. I think that's where I got a lot of my guts from and a lot of my heritage from. Because my mother was very outspoken as well, even in her day. And it's such a sad situation for us to be putting all this energy and focus on Chris Rock getting a slap, because I don't condone it, and I don't condone his joke, because it wasn't funny to me when I saw the clippings, because I didn't watch the Academy. I haven't watched it in years. So at any rate, thank you guys for watching. I see Lola and Constance. I appreciate you guys. I'm just taking my walk. And I just decided to talk about mental health, because a lot of us as black people in our community, we need healing. And I'm not on either side, Will's or Chris's. I call it an act of human instincts. And I have studied social work. I have a bachelor's in social work. I've studied people. And I was just amazed at it when I saw the clippings. But I don't condone it from either one. And it's not going to set us back from my perspective as black people. What's setting us back is the divide among us, not coming together, self-hate, not being and using our creative, melanated, brilliant minds. That's what's setting us back. And we know what set us back too was the 1921 bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma by whites who brutalized the blacks who had built a thriving black community. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now that set us back. Black people didn't do it. We were thriving in spite of putting us out to pasture, saying we were free and giving nothing. Had done all the labor, but you got nothing. So what set us back is economic oppressors. And not only Tulsa, there were many black towns that were destroyed by whites who were jealous and envy, because in spite of what was taken from us and what was given to our ancestors, we thrive. And that's how I feel today. That's what we should be investing our energy in. Invest our energy in something that's going to benefit us collectively as black people. Because right now, we are at the bottom in net worth. So when I talk about that, I talk about success and legacy. To me, success is growth in intellect, spirituality, physically, mentally and emotionally, socially. And the legacy is generational wealth being passed on to our children. So we have to look at things from a different perspective and put it in the proper perspective. And that's what a lot of us haven't done. That's why we're exerting a lot of our energy on Hollywood drama. People that have money when some of us have nothing, and we're still out here complaining about it. That stuff should have been behind us, and it's still being carried on. I don't have time for it. I'm too busy creating and talking to my children about their lives, how to become successful, and passing legacy on to my children and my grandchild or grandchildren. And the other person one time, like I've told you about the few people that I would have loved to have slapped the shit out of, but I didn't because I have self-control, is my son David. There was a time when I wanted to slap the shit out of David. And if anybody knows, I wrote an award-winning book about my plight with my son David, who was diagnosed with a rare bone cancer. Could have been life-threatening, but he's still here. He's going to be 41, in fact, this month. And God healed him and allowed him to come out okay with the cancer. However, he got into drugs, and that was traumatizing, not only to him, but to us. So when he acted up, I couldn't go and abuse my child because I knew what he had gone through. However, that's what therapy is all about. And that's why a lot of us don't do therapy when we should, because it can save our lives if you have the right therapist. And I'll tell you, I went through a lot with my son David and some of the doctors he had, particularly some of the psychiatrists. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this show. There were a few psychiatrists, believe me, I wanted to slap the shit out of them because they did not understand. They had the training, and we're going to talk about that, because a lot of them feel that we got a skin disease. You guys might not know that, but you'll find out if you watch my show about Benjamin Rush and some of the thought processes that not only he had, but some other white people had, thinking that we are inferior because of our dark skin. We have a disease, a skin disease. That's how crazy some of the psychiatrists are. They have a distorted view of us as black people, and it started back in so-called father of psychiatry. And we're going to talk about a lot of that on my show Sunday, because a lot of us don't know that. So that's why I'm saying, why are we focusing and putting our energy into Hollywood? We need to put our energy into black wood. If you just want to have a wood, put it into black wood. That's the kind of wood we need. So with my son David, I had an understanding of why he was doing what he did, because the psychiatrists that he saw, some of them didn't care. I had to fight for my son to get the surgery he needed. Fortunately, I knew the system because I worked in it. So I knew the mental health system. I knew the healthcare system in California, where I've lived most of my life. So I knew what they were capable of, and I knew how to fight the system. Not physically, because I don't need to fight physically. All I need to do is someone to give me a pen. That's how I slap the shit out of people. I use pen power. And that's what we all need to start doing. Use your pen power. Start reading. Reading really opens the mind to so many opportunities. Let's stop the foolishness and the nonsense and start creating for ourselves and our children. And if you read, you can do that. There are some books and that some of us probably never heard of. And I'll tell you about one that I read, several years ago too. Dr. Claude Anderson, Black Labor, White Wealth, Outwitting the Devil. I read that one. Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was a white author, and he wrote Outwitting the Devil, and they couldn't even publish it. because his family feared for his life. So they didn't publish this book, Outwitting the Devil, until he died. And there are so many other books out here that we can read. Invest your energy in something that's going to benefit us as Black people. We need it because it's so much that they attempt to stack against us. Are you going to let that stop you and sit around and feel sorry for yourself? Have a pity party? I don't. I have a pen party. In fact, I love having a pen and pencil party. That's the kind of party I have. Because rather than slapping the shit out of somebody, if they've done something to you, you use the pen and pencil on them. So that's what I do. And this has been a nice walk, very pleasant, little bit of wind out. I'm almost home now, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. But I thought I'd take you guys on the little journey with me and just chat a bit, because I just love sharing a lot of my experiences. And believe me, I have a lot more I could share. So much more to Louise Hicks, the mad Black woman. And that's motivated and determined. And I've told you about my angry moments. So all these people out here talking about what they would have done, you don't know what you would have done in the moment. So I'm not sitting here putting blame on either one of them, Will or Chris. I've seen more of Will than I have Chris, actually. And I'll keep on watching and listening. And I'm just glad that Chris didn't retaliate up there on the stage, because it would have been a brawl. And who wanted to see a brawl? I didn't. Not two 50-some-year-old men up there fighting. I didn't want to see that. Like I said, we have to learn to exercise self-control and use pen power, pen and pencil power. And that's what I did when I was mistreated on the job, when my son David was acting up because of him having that cancer, and he was only 14. So I understood. But believe me, I felt like slapping the shit out of some people more than one occasion. But I didn't do it because I knew it wasn't the right thing to do. So with that said, I'm almost home. And I'm looking at the beauty of spring. We're getting ready to have some spring bliss. And I love it because my roses are going to be blooming. And I can't wait to see them. Look at this. These are my roses. And I'm so excited about them because I know that when they bloom, they're going to be beautiful. Hello. My neighbor's passing. Because I have different colors, you guys. I have a purple one. That's a purple one right there. And I think that one right there is, it's been a while. We've been through a lot of colds, so I can't remember exactly. But they are purple, yellow, red, and I have some on the other side too. Over there on the other side. You can see those. And my crepe myrtles, I love them. So I'm just looking forward to April bliss. The mad Black woman is getting ready to sign off, and that's for motivated and determined, because this mad Black woman is a warrior for justice. And that's it. Because if we have justice, we'd have more peace and love in the world. And that's what we need. Because there's too much hate, too much chaos. So anyhow, I'm going to sign off, and I will hope to see you guys come on the show tomorrow, because we are going to talk about mental health, the Black community, and psychiatry, because more of us need to seek therapy. I don't have an issue with getting therapy. Believe me, I've gotten it before, especially when I worked on these jobs, because dealing with some of these racist white people, I would have loved to slap the shit out of some of them, but I didn't. So it's better to go to therapy. So tell me, If you can go to therapy, that's the best thing for you. Mental health is very important, and your physical health. We're going to talk about that too one of these months, because a lot of us are plagued with diabetes, high blood pressure, this and that and the other. And we should be focusing on that as well. Like I said, Will, Jada, Chris, they're going to be okay. All of them, whatever they're doing. And I'm not concerned about their business. That whatever they're doing, I wish them the best, believe me, because I'm focusing on the best for my family. And I'm not sitting up here using up all of my energy on Hollywood. I'm going to use my energy on Blackwood. So with that said, good night. Have a good one. Hope you can join us tomorrow. Go to my YouTube channel, as I said, Aim to Purpose Radio. You can subscribe to my channel, and you'll hear more from me, because I am Louise Hicks, the host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour and the Mad Black Woman. The Mad Black Woman, motivated and determined. So good night. Much love to you guys. Have a great one. Bye-bye. I'm home now, and it's getting dark out here too. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.